The logic of soul. What you experience in your life that relates to major and minor themes, the things that are repeatedly or continually on your mind and heart, are, in a sense, energetically coded in you by soul. The portion of divine consciousness that is yours sets into motion certain vibratory states within you that it knows will manifest in your life. As stated above, when all that is intact, it cannot know itself, and so the decision was made to portion pieces of itself off in order to create and learn through experiences based in a perception of separateness. As you are one of these pieces, you are vibrating what we should consider divine commands. It is these elements of your energetic field that draw to you the experiences you have that shape you. Soul intends that you focus repeatedly or continually upon certain life themes available to humans and, as it is the divine, its intentions are broadcast to the universe as commands to bring manifestations of those themes to you. Because of your soul, you are vibrating divine commands that will draw certain kinds of experiences and dynamics to you. Many people notice this effect and wonder, or assume it to be, destiny or fate. Nothing is predetermined for you, except that soul is vibrating through you certain life themes into manifestation around you. How you respond to what comes to you is everything, as I will continue to explore throughout the remainder of this text. The logic of soul becomes apparent through your experiences. What your portion of all that is, your soul, sets out to learn through you will, in fact, come to you. This cannot help but happen, because the universe is responding to your divine command. As a portion of all that is, you are, in fact, a portion of the Creator energy. What you as soul says, goes. What you as soul vibrate, manifests. The manifestation experiment that set the stage for all life required that you, as the divine, forget this aspect of your creative power, so you, as a human, have done so. But it is true that your intentions create your reality, and this is true both of your soul and your human self. Perhaps as you navigate metaphysical or New Age teachings, you have heard that you are creating your life, and you can be sure that it's true. By deeply getting to know how all of this works, you will begin to see how to make your day-to-day human life align more with soul and its divine commands to improve your quality of life and your sense of belonging here on earth and having an important divine mission. Until humans understand all of this, confusion about why things happen to them crops up left and right. The confusion becomes painful as they begin to perceive that they are at the mercy of these unseen and unknowable forces. But they are knowable, and this is why we are here together today. You are learning how to understand what is really going on in the game space of life for you as a human, why it is happening, and what you can do about it as a divine being, remembering the power of free will and learning to be motivated by love. Back to our story. Soul knows that some of what you will vibrate to your life will be painful. It recognizes that painful experiences are just as valuable as pleasurable experiences when it comes to learning about life and all of its possibilities. And so the determining factors of soul's day-to-day involvement in your life are not exclusively about happiness, safety, joy, security, or other wonderful things that your mind may perceive are the right things for you. All humans experience pain, and no one gets a free pass. You know this to be true through observation of your life and those of others, but the reason for it has mostly escaped you. The logic of soul is the answer because it is the logic of the divine, which is what you are as you live your human lives, creating the world into existence around you so that your soul, your very own portion of all that is, can learn what it means to be human, make choices, and turn your life from being motivated by fear to motivated by love. The logic of soul, the logic of the divine. You may think these are phrases easy to be thrown about by beings such as myself. You might think something like, Judy, you are not living my life. You have not seen what I have seen. You are not hurt by the past as I am hurt by it. You are not dealing every day with this trouble and that pressure, this tension and that dilemma. You do not have to go from one rock and hard place combo to another for years at a time. But as a teacher coming through a channel to share with you insights into the big picture so you can understand more about what is happening on the earth plane when it comes to life, soul, and, we will get there, death, I ask you to please be open to receiving this information in the helpful spirit in which it is intended. Please give me the benefit of the doubt, even if you feel a bit challenged now and then. As I mentioned in the opening, there may be some material here that pushes a button or two inside you, and there may at times be a reaction to what I'm sharing with you. At this point, please know that if you are feeling stirred to think something like what I have just said above, then you have a button that is being pushed. Let this be okay, and know that it is temporary. If you resist the notion that your soul accepts painful experiences as part of the learning journey it must go through in order to learn how to be human and how to make choices and learn to become the source of love, then there are some things out of balance in your field that require rebalancing, which you usually call healing. I am doing what I can in this text to provide you with the tools to enable that kind of healing. And for this reason, I am glad that you and this book has found each other. You are in the same boat as everyone else who is reading this text as it happens. And for what it's worth, I've lived a number of human lives, and so have been there too. All those taking on the title of Ascended Master have lived numerous human lives on earth. We couldn't really help you if we had not gone through the same process that you are going through now, could we? It would be disingenuous to talk at you what we say are truths if we had not lived lives just like yours and come out the other side with more awareness of how all of this really works. Each and every human's long multi-life journey includes the soul setting out for him or her painful experiences in order to learn about all the possible permutations of the power of choice given the wide variety of contexts and variables in play in that person's life at any given time. Being pushed into pain is part of the divine play, we could say. It is not about pain, to be sure. It is not even half about happiness and half about pain. There is no such divinely commanded ratio. It is not the amount of happiness or pain in your life that matters to soul, but the experience and process of turning fear into love, which can also be thought of as turning pain into love. The quality of your life experience does matter to your soul, and therefore to all that is. But it is up to you, as a portion of all that is, to create loving states that feed and nurture your sense of being human and propel you to give to others and the world the gift that you are as all that is. This is your power. Your soul has not set out to shepherd or direct you, but to provide you a sense of strength to learn to make the right decisions for yourself at the right times and for the right reasons. You can choose to connect with and inhabit that sense of strength or not. It's entirely up to you. The paths in time teach the divine what it embodies to learn. If you are someone who has been taught or has somehow come to think that soul is or should be your protector, or perhaps even an older sibling keeping you out of trouble and teaching you the right way to live, it is time for you to update this conception. Soul is divine power, not incarnated, and you are its manifestation, meaning that you are divine power incarnated. This is not to puff or pump you up. It is not to blow smoke in your direction or to try to get you to try on for size a measure of megalomania. It is meant to reveal to you that what you are vibrating is just as powerful as all that is divine source vibrating the universe into existence. You are vibrating your world around you into existence at this very moment, and you always have been doing so. It is your nature to create. You cannot help but do so. While you are in human form, it happens as experiences, situations, and relationships coming to you that manifest what you are thinking and feeling, including what you have thought and felt long ago and in other lives. Your life is a creation of your beliefs, thoughts, attitudes, and ultimately also your worries, fears, passions, and strengths. All that is happening to you is your creation. When you truly grasp this, your life will truly change. You will see that you have been in the driver's seat of your life the entire time, but you have not been aware of how this stuff works. You will be able to begin a new chapter by unwrapping a new map for your life, defined by empowering intentionality and, most importantly, setting off in a new direction, knowing that you will get there. The logic of soul says that whatever you as human need to experience in order for all that is to learn about what it means to be human is what you will experience. As stated above, it is not about pain, but it is equally not about the avoidance of pain. All manner of human experiences will come to you over the course of your many human lives, spread out along the Earth timeline. The themes chosen by your soul for you to experience are brought to life in myriad ways across the timeline, yet in any given life you will not experience all of them. A human life is not long enough to sample all the possibilities available to a human given any particular life theme. Consider the theme of belonging and acceptance. Possibilities include exploring being accepted by familial, community, home, national, ethnic, and religious community. It is possible to have some lives in which each of these is experienced as accepting or not accepting. But to really get into the deep feelings the human will feel when acceptance is not on the table in such contexts needs more than one life to unfold. And if you remember what I stated earlier, it is in the varied contexts with multiple differing variables between separate lives that provide the true learning required by soul, which is to say, all that is. For instance, if a person feels unaccepted by his or her family in a given life, it could be that the person ends up choosing to set off on his or her own. It could also be that the family throws the person out for some reason. It could happen instead that the person stays with the family but must sacrifice something important about his or her self-expression or values in order to do so. These are just 3 possibilities that might be explored in a given life, while often situations like this unfold in related stages. After one thing is tried and found not to work, then another is tried, etc. It is not possible for the myriad possibilities to be explored by any one person in his or her life. Footnote. Sometimes a given life contains many opportunities to revisit the past, and this means encountering many such stages, leaving one to perceive that a lot of past tensions and things left unresolved are being presented to him or her. End of footnote. Add to this the need soul has to observe what choices a human would make if blue-skinned in a green-skinned world, trisexual in a bisexual world, poor in a rich world, and so on. The variations are limitless, and a wide variety of them need to be observed by each soul regarding its chosen themes in order for all that is to sufficiently learn what it has set out to learn via the manifestation experiment. The logic of soul says that what you are vibrating will manifest. A detail to mention is that your emotional body connects all of your soul lives together. What is happening to one person associated with your soul on one part of the Earth timeline can take up enough space in that person's emotional consciousness to affect other people associated with that soul. This is to say that the deeply joyful and deeply painful experiences of your soul's other lives affect you, and vice versa. Your conscious mind might not readily accept that it is logical that you must, in this life, deal with painful experiences that haven't happened to you. This would be entirely normal, because your conscious mind is only just now becoming aware of the fact that you are not the particular body, name, personality, and preferences, dreams, and fears that you believe make up who you are. Your conscious mind is getting a wake-up call through this text to adapt to the idea that it is an important advisor and integral to your life, but not all that you are. Why should you have to deal with the imprints of pain that other humans elsewhere on the timeline have experienced? The answer is that you are a divine being living multidimensionally, and now being clued into the fact that you exist across time and are, in fact, immensely powerful as a portion of all that is. Some of these imprints from elsewhere on the timeline that are showing up in your emotional body are vibrating to the extent that they manifest in this life you are living. This is to say that some of the joy and pain from your soul's other lives is strong enough to bleed through and manifest in this life. You will, in other words, have some experiences in your present life that are echoes of what is happening to other manifestations of your soul elsewhere on the timeline. Painful experiences can be so deeply scarring on the emotional body that they show up in each life. Now it is possible that this does not always happen, but it can. It also happens that a person can possess a fear out of all proportion to his or her biography, and this would represent a pain from another life that has perhaps not manifested. You are not, in any given life, subjected to all painful experiences from your soul's other lives becoming manifest. It would not be possible, under those circumstances, to learn anything as a human being, because you would be overwhelmed and not be able to see that you can make choices in response to the situations. If inclined to feeling powerless or a bit of a victim, you would likely crumble under the pressure of awful things happening to you. As it is, you are vibrating into existence echoes of other life fear, pain, joy, and triumph in measured doses to give you opportunities to respond to them and, in the process, learn to turn fearful and pained motivations into loving motivations. You are often occupied with the results of what you are unwittingly manifesting. This looks like being happy or unhappy, feeling safe or afraid, or any other emotion with charge that relates to an external circumstance of your life. All of this takes up time and energy and represents the day-to-day learning of all that is through your human life. Once you are able to see that all that you are experiencing is in fact a creation of your energy field, including thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you can turn your attention to adapting your human will with your divine will. The logic of soul then becomes apparent to you as you live your life and accept with graciousness that what comes to you is in your life for a reason, and that even if the experience is painful, the reason is a good one. All that is needs you to make a decision about how you will behave in response to the situation coming to you or taking shape in front of your eyes. The more you are occupied with the results, the more you are in states of feeling without understanding. The more that you spend time in such states, the more you can get lost in them, This is fertile ground for negative and victim state-inspired thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to become generated and ultimately cemented into your field. And whatever it is that is cemented in your field begins to manifest in the world around you, bringing into manifestation more examples of what hurt you in the past. This is the nature of karma. Deep beliefs cemented in your energetic field about what has happened attached to the feelings resulting from the thing happening. And it is the nature of your energetic field to make apparent what is out of balance or out of place. And so it is that your life can be seen as a series of karmic bubbles floating to the surface of conscious awareness, but only through becoming manifest in the life around you. If you carry a belief or a thought, you will manifest it. And very often it is true that you cannot know what you are carrying until it manifests around you. It is easy for you to use this manifestation process to reinforce what was believed in the first place. You suspect that something not happy is true, and then some version of it happens in front of your face. You take the opportunity to say, "See? I knew something like that was going to happen. I was right all along." The purpose of this section of the book is to hammer home the perspective that what you experience is being created by what you are vibrating. Given this truth, my questions to you are, well, what do you choose now to believe? What do you choose to think? What are you interested in vibrating into existence now? I challenge you to commit to a process of evaluating what you believe as well as what you think it means that certain scenarios present themselves regularly in your life. I challenge you to develop and cement the perspective that what comes to you serves you because it is vibrating itself into existence in order to serve you as you become aware of the energies, including thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you are carrying. The most persistent patterns of things coming to you, those that can vex you and inspire you to want to throw your arms up into the air, are those most deeply painful and or not yet understood. If you commit to seeing all that comes to you as serving your highest good, as all that is exploring what it means to be human, you will be on your way to aligning more with soul. Be sure to remember that soul does not have the job of making life easier for you. You have the job of learning to bring the wisdom of soul out into the world around you. This will create you consistently to be loving, honoring and bringing through soul's true loving nature as all that is into the manifest world, and will enable you to be able to confront and process what in your life has been the most painful, difficult, and vexing. And finally, I invite you to embark upon a process of rewriting the history you have attached to your experiences and your past. Using the information contained here about the logic of soul, you can begin to view past experiences in new light. When you can go through your history and review potential reasons you might have manifested what you have experienced, you can begin to release deep and numerous fears that you might carry now about past awful things repeating themselves. You can also bring the process of forgiving all those who have hurt you and forgive yourself for having made choices that seem not to be the best for you or that can hurt or damage you in one way or another. History is a narrative applied after the fact to a series of interrelated events that seem to have led to this or that outcome. As a narrative, it is unavoidably informed by the beliefs, thoughts, expectations, feelings, and individuality of the narrator. If, for example, you were hurt in some way when you were a child, the narrator who has determined the meaning of that painful event is the age at which you were hurt. Now, in your adulthood, you have the opportunity to go through these files in your head and heart in order to upgrade the version of events to reflect your growing comfort with the logic of soul. After all, if it happened to you, it happened for a reason. And that reason has everything to do with what your soul, your very own portion of all that is, came here to experience in order to learn what love is. where it comes from, and who's responsible for giving it to whom, along its path of learning to become the source of love while living a human life.